And we welcome you back into Dodger Poke Report for another feature cut. Today's feature is on recently brought up right-handed pitcher in the Dodgers organization, Carson Fulmer. The Dodgers just picked up Carson Fulmer off of free agency here in the offseason, and so he has had a good start to 2022. He brings a lot of experience, he brings a lot of talent, and he brings a lot of versatility to Los Angeles, and he just recently got brought up. Now, he's been with several different organizations. He was drafted in the first round in 2015 by the Chicago White Sox. He's been with the Reds. He's been with the Tigers. He's been with the Pirates. And now he's been with the Los Angeles Dodgers, or he is with the Dodgers now. So it seems like he's like 35, 36 years old because he's been with so many different organizations. And it seems like he's been around forever, especially because we got to see him pitch a lot on high leverage stages. With Vanderbilt, he pitched in the national championship game on 2 days rest. So it seems like he's a lot older than he is. He's only 28 years old, so he has a lot of time still in front of him to have a great career. I think the Dodgers are a perfect fit. I'm going to explain why I think that way as we go on with this feature cut. So I think this is a very exciting move for the Dodgers, and I'm very excited to see what Carson Fulmer will bring to LA. Let's not waste any time and let's get to it and show you what Carson Fulmer brings to the table. The first thing you have to mention, he throws that four-seam fastball. That's his favorite pitch, and he likes to throw it up in the zone to get up above the modern-day uppercut. And as you see in that pitch, then he likes to mix that with a sinker down in the zone, especially to the glove side, low and away. So here is that four-seam to a lefty up and in, and then he'll mix that, as we're going to see on this next pitch, with a sinker that he throws low and away. Well, there's that four-seam again to a right-hander. So you saw the four-seam up in the zone to a right-hander and a lefty. Now let's watch him throw that sinker down in the zone to the glove side, low and away, and get that sink on the pitch. So that's a good mix of his fastball. Now let's look at his secondary. Here's his curveball, just absolutely elite vertical drop to this, and this was in spring training this year. So you can see just how talented this young man is at just 28 years old. He just needs the right fit and the right kind of innings and developmental system, which the Dodgers have for him to really just kind of take off with the stuff that he has. This curveball with the vertical drop on it is just absolutely elite with the way he's able to locate this pitch and just freeze major league hitters. And then he mixes that with a cutter and then also this changeup here. Look at this changeup and the tumble on that. And watch the fade he also is able to get on this next pitch. As you can tell, he's very excited because as much movement as that pitch has, much like a knuckleball or a splitter, it's a very high maintenance pitch, if you will. From day to day, it's a very feel heavy pitch. And so some days you show up and you have the feel for it. Some days you don't. And so on the days when you're able to land it like that last pitch, it is very exciting because when you're able to land it for a strike like this, it is a pitch that is very, very difficult to hit and many think is the best pitch in baseball. As I've said earlier, Carson Fulmer, although he seems like he's a lot older than he is because he's been with several different organizations, he's been around on the big stage for such a long time, he is still fairly young at just 28 years old, so he has still a lot of future ahead of him. And you know, in athletics, no matter how talented you are, you have to have the right fit. If you're not a good fit for where you're at, you're not going to feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to perform. On the opposite end, that's why I think the Dodgers, we've seen with Max Muncy, we've seen with Chris Taylor, we've seen with Justin Turner, and then with pitchers like Phil Bickford, recently Evan Phillips, Corey Knebel, guys like that, where they come into this Dodgers organization, they're a good fit, they start feeling comfortable. All of a sudden, you see all that talent start blossoming around them. I think this is another case that you're going to see with Carson Fulmer. Being a first-round draft pick, 2015, we obviously know how talented he already is. You saw the curveball, you saw the elite changeup, you saw the four-seam fastball, you saw the sinker and the cutter to it. We know he has all the pitch metrics. Now, the question is going to be what kind of fit is he in Los Angeles? Keep in mind, when in all the times past, he had always been designated for assignment, which means that he is being sent back down to the minor leagues, and then he was picked up off of what's called waivers, meaning he did not have a choice as to what team he was going to. This time around, he had enough service time. He was able to choose free agency, choose the team that he wanted, of which he chose the Dodgers. So I think from that perspective alone, he knew the Dodgers are going to be a good fit. That's going to make him comfortable, and I think we're going to see the talent come out in this talented young right-hander. Well, not young, but young enough right-hander Carson Fulmer, so I'm very excited to see what he brings to Los Angeles. I'm glad that you've tuned in to another Dodger Poke Report main feature cut, and I hope that you log on to DodgerPokeReport.com or visit Dodger Poke on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. We also have a podcast. Just log on to the podcast streaming service of your choice and search Dodger Poke Report and never miss a thing from Dodger Poke. As always, I'm glad that you tuned in, and go Dodgers!